Let's get going. I'm very happy to be here. How are you doing today? Are you excited? I'm excited. Preseason RP. Oh, very fast. Oh, great. Preseason. That's what that's for. I was. I've got nothing more to prove. No, I thought I'd join you. You looked lonely in the commentary box, so I thought I'd try my hand in it. But I won't lie, I was getting ready for today, and I did get that urge to race, that excitement before I remembered. So we'll see how long I last before I jump back in and take my crown back. Oh, that's his name now. Yes. No, they don't, do they? Yeah, it's always turn one, turn two, turn three. Yeah, you're right. Really? That's one of my favorite tracks, and I didn't recognize a single name of a single corner you just said. That's how little you no idea. New Holland, I would say the chicane at the end. Ah, close. Very close. He's very much struggling. He's got dry tires on, I think. Yeah, he's trying to get around with dry tires, and oh, he's in the wall. It's going to be hard. Where did he end up? For a van. Yeah. I think their goal was just to finish. So if they finished, then they must be very happy. Exactly. I don't know if we're going to let him start. Never mind finish. So if it stays like this, who have you got for each class title then? Yeah.
Green light. Go.
Oh, okay. See, I don't think you can discount Robin Moe or even Pierre Moreno because they are very, very quick drivers. I know Robin came off a tough loss in Project A recently, but I think he's ready to bounce back. And Dark, Pierre Moreno, he has come leaps and bounds lately the last few weeks. So I think it's going to platinum at least. It's going to be a very interesting season. He'll be waiting for the Formula One. Oh, have you moved? What a dick. I have been talking.
Right, I'm going to do this again. I've unmuted myself now.
Okay.
Great.
Good.
Qualifying. RP Series Season 9. We are here, and we are actually here because I unmuted myself because I forgot.
Amazing.
I said to Daniel that me having the desktop audio on means that he can talk, and I forgot it doesn't mean I can talk as well.
So I have been talking to myself like a madman.
You have been Gaius Boltering, that's what you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing. I was lucky it's just us watching it.
Right, for anyone who has only just joined us, luckily it was practice. No one watches practice, who cares?
Yeah, exactly. It's all good.
Luckily, so anyone who actually wants to hear us have a proper conversation rather than just one side of it, welcome to RP Series Season 9. We have just started our qualifying session for this season. These
very wet as well.
6 races, including this, the pre-season session. No points available here, but certainly a lot of pride to be going around. And we're watching on board with Mr. Ivan Baratz, our QP driver, who's not in a QP livery car due to a livery kerfuffle.
You might see, if anyone's watching, he is in the Nissan. We haven't explained the big
We
addition.
haven't. Yes, the big addition, as we watch Iceman be one of the first major drivers to start a lap here at Barcelona and get very, very slidey through the first turn and second turn as well. We have a custom BOP, now custom balance of performance. Daniel, do you want to describe what that means?
That essentially means that the weight penalty or the weight is either, added or taken away depending on the performance of your car. So, in a usual season, you would not see cars like the Nissan or the old Honda or the Bentley.
Well, we would see the Bentley.
Occasionally, yes, but most drivers would not choose those cars because Kunos has chosen not to give them any love because they're old cars and they're much, much slower. But recently, they have allowed us to either give 40 kilograms or take 40 kilograms away. That's the vital part. That means we can give those cars a little help and balance out the pace, balance of performance. So our very talented drivers, Thomas Jack and our director, Pierre Moreno, worked very hard to balance out the cars, and they've done a wonderful job. So all the cars should be within around a tenth of each other in terms of ultimate pace. So I'm very excited to see what this means for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I do want to note, this is a custom BOP. I mean, obviously there'll be some talk. It is based on the LFM project a little bit. I know that provided, Low Fuel Motorsports. Obviously, we have to give some credit to them because they were the ones who first brought the idea of doing a major bopping system into ACC. I believe, as I understand it, Pierre Moreno and Thomas Jack took that bop and adjusted it very slightly to give us a more, what we feel to be a more rounded bop for our series. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing what will happen.
Same, I really am. I used to drive the Lexus, so seeing a Lexus on track has brought some warm feelings. I have a special place in my heart for the Lexus, so I wanted to do that.
I mean, we all hope. I mean, I don't see him. Actually, yes, I do see him. He is somewhere here, I swear. No, he's not. Yes, here he is. Oh, wait. That's really weird. Justin Gottlieb is not in the Lexus. That threw me.
Oh, so he's
Justin Gottlieb is driving the number 36 Lamborghini in a lovely black and orange livery.
Yes, to explain this to the audience, he usually drives a Lexus, and now the one season where that might be competitive, and a good idea. He's not driving it.
I had to stop you earlier and say that we do see the Bentley because, well, Bentley himself, Mr. Bentley, Jarmeek Smith, is driving the Bentley, or the Boatley, as it's also known, and certainly it will be very suited around here, even if that didn't quite seem it.
To one side there.
Right, let's have a look then. So we have some laps coming in. It is a wet qualifying session with a reducing rain towards the end of this session. This race, for the record, is a regular format. It is going to be it has been already a 60-minute practice session, starting a little bit earlier than we used to, at least. It started at 6:30, ended at 7:30, conveniently. Then we have this 15-minute quali session, and it's going to be a regular old 60-minute race with one mandatory pit stop. Other races, however, will use different formats. There will be some 70-minute races, some 60-minute with different number of pit stops and pit stop requirements, or probably one race without any requirements whatsoever, which certainly provided an interesting race last season, if you remember. Mr. Mats Linham deciding to do a stop in the middle of the race and still winning just on the last lap.
I'd argue there that it was more that Pierre lost that race than Mats won it. Yes, it was an excellent strategy decision from him. He was forced to pit as his fuel consumption was much, much higher than other McLaren drivers.
Chose to pit by pushing ahead in the first stint.
Yes, he chose to pit, and it worked out for him in the end. He won it on the last few corners, in the last lap. So, yeah.
Yes, he beat Pierre Moreno, driving his classic, let's have a look at it now, 922 Porsche Team Spectre, or Spectre Racing Pals as the team is currently listed as.
And just lost the lead.
Yes, he currently sits P2. He is stopping in the chicane to give some distance to the car ahead, but he has been jumped by a fellow Porsche driver, Mr. Martin Kovacs, in the Reuter Motorsport team car.
Very, very quick driver.
Oh, and he has stopped himself to return to the pit lane. But he has currently done a 151.4, a good 5/10 ahead of Pierre Moreno's 151.9.
Mr. Mo's out on his out lap now. Is he on a quick lap? Can we go see?
Let's have a look. He's down here. He is not on a quick lap. His lap currently says 4 minutes 30. Frederick Schöblem. Sheba has had a little spin in his Bentley. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what happened. Okay, here we go. I'm going to try this for the first time ever. It's time for a replay. I have to go back 30 seconds. Okay, let me see if I can get this to work. It's slightly delayed. It didn't quite cut across to the replay in the time. I should have done it slightly earlier. I'm going to have to get used to doing the replay function. Oh, but he got onto the grass and I think just spun it around.
Yeah.
And held his brakes, waited for the Mercedes to come past. Very clean.
Nice little spin. Yeah, it's very easy to do there in turn 3.
Especially in these sorts of conditions, yes.
I'm very curious to see how the race will go if it is wet.
I want to have a look, because Jarmeek Smith, driving his Bentley as he always does, now with this BOP, 5th place in Platinum class, and up on his time at the moment. I want to see what he is able to do at the end of this lap. He has been blocked a little bit there. Not blocked necessarily, but slowed down at least by a Porsche behind him. I think that's an AM Porsche. I think that's T. Curtis. I've actually only just noticed that he has a red light on his numbers. I'm not sure if that's a... Let me have a quick look. Is that a thing I've never noticed before?
Yes, you can... when you're choosing a custom livery in game, you get the light strips.
No, it's not the light strip I'm looking at. It's the actual SRO mandated number board in the windscreen.
Oh, okay.
It's red coloured, and I'm wondering if that's a class thing I've never noticed before, or it might just be me being mad and it is a additional lights thing. But Jarmeek Smith takes the line. He lost a lot of time in that last sector though, and still 5th place for him. I'm gonna have a look at the silver driver. I want to see if I can see their number board. That looks quite yellow to me.
I can't quite see it,
There
unfortunately.
we are.
That is yellow, I believe.
Let me go to Ivan Barats. That's also yellow. Let me go to Kovacs. Maybe I am just going mad, because that's also regular colour. What's this guy? No, he's got a red one as well. I think there is an AM. I think the AM number boards have yellow, red LEDs.
Go to a platinum car and see what they are.
I did. They look just normal.
Oh, okay.
But
Very
I'm
strange.
wondering whether that these are white and the other ones are yellow, but it's just such a minor distinction that I don't notice. Jacob Alacia, meanwhile, on a PST racing car, or Speedy Jake HD Racing, apparently. I just saw the PST on the rear, having
Wow.
himself a moment. I'm going to try a replay again.
Oh.
I think that was
There we go.
closer.
It was just as he was spinning, unfortunately. So now 10 seconds would have been okay. But that's also a very easy thing to do in that corner.
Meanwhile, Deep Cuts has a yellow flag, and once we get out of this replay, we are going to see where he is. Oh, he's gone back to the pit lane.
That livery.
That is a beautiful livery. Team Vapor RP, a Racing Pals branded livery.
That is very nice. We should steal that for our Super Formula.
Meanwhile, whilst we've been chatting the breeze, Robin Moe has taken the lead in the Nissan, the fully pink small PP Nissan. Yes, I get to say it on stream. The small PP brand that we know the people at RCI love because they said that on the stream, and I love it too. I love racing it. I love watching it.
And soon you'll get the sister team. We will not say the name right now, but you can see that later on in perhaps another stream.
Oh, a sister team. Who's that being driven by?
Me and you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That's going to be a fun one.
That's a little tease for later on.
Right. But whilst we are talking about Robin's success, Martin Kovacs grounding the final corner to take a lead. He's 7/10 up and goes P1 with a 150.692, 8/10 ahead of Robin Moe behind.
So plenty of pace left as the cars go around.
It should be noted that it shouldn't be coming down in time, but as a dry line starts to form, as the cars keep running around and around and around and around, it's going to pick up the pace for each driver. Ivan Baratz, meanwhile, I think up at turn 5 there.
Perhaps in the wrong
turn 4
category.
even.
But as this is a pre-season race, I'm sure he will be judged.
Well, I don't think you were here. I don't think you were actually here at all, Daniel, when Ivan Baratz last competed, as I remember it, in the RB series. He was put into AM category. And for the first 2-3 races that season, perfectly belonged to be there. One race, he turned up and said, you know what, I'm going to properly practice for this race. And he was coming on the podium each race. Consistently in AM, they put him up to silver, and he won, I think, almost every race in silver in the same season.
Yeah, I mean, you put in the practice, that pays off. Practice and coaching, that's what you need to do.
Robin Moe has also been jumped. Sorry to interrupt, but he's also been jumped by Thomas Jack and Pierre Moreno, P2, P3.
They'll still be finding their limits, because obviously the track changed when they went into qualifying, so they'll still be tiptoeing around trying to find out where the perfect amount of grip is. So I expect Robin to come back and finish a bit stronger than this.
I think he certainly will. I want to have a look now down at P13 once again. Jacob Alacia currently 1.5 seconds up on his best time. Only the chicane left to navigate. The chicane, which by the way doesn't have a corner name because technically I guess it's a later edition. It's not original track, is it?
It's not, no.
It's not even used anymore. Well, not in good racing. It's used here though. And that's 8th place for Jacob Alacia. That puts him 3rd in class, behind Ivan Baratz, behind Jeroen Oderdorp in the. I thought that was Jurgens this season, and it's not. It's Jeroen Oderdorp, the other Dutch named Jo.
Looks like Jurgens isn't joining us.
He might not be for this pre-season. I mean, we do obviously want drivers to come for the pre-season to help to make sure they're in the right class, but
you can't force people to join. I think people prefer driving for something, so really these races where you're not actually.
I think people do, and then when they're established drivers, it's nice that they come, but he's going to be silver no matter what. Him and Michael, when Michael gets here, will be silver as well. And Jermaine Smith,
there is some debate to that, but yes, I think they will end up in silver. I believe.
Go back 15 seconds, sorry, because Jermaine Smith had a yellow flag there.
Just going slow, I think.
I think he was letting the other Bentley, Bentley driven by Mr. Frederick Schublem, pass on the straight down to turn 10.
As I was saying, I believe that the two directors that are not currently here could be quick enough for platinum. They're either top silver or low platinum. So I think it's a choice. It's a judgment choice on which category to put them in. But I hope they're in together because it will be a very interesting season to see those two.
I do think wherever one of them goes, the other one will follow.
Absolutely.
As they are very close together. Even though you yourself were the one mainly fighting for the Silver Championship last season,
Yes, but that was mostly due to Jurgen's not being here for half the races and my
Ooh, a
call.
little wiggle there as we come to the end of
Oh,
qualifying for Robin Moe. I wanted to see him as he was up on his time and still is. Can he get a good exit from the chicane in the Nissan? The Nissan for this race has a minus 40 kilogram bop, being so Nissan-y.
yes.
The bop itself is also subject to change if it feels too powerful for this race, but I think by the results, as he takes the P3 position,
P3. Okay.
I think the Nissan might stay where it is for this race. It might be changed for a few others
Tom
if
on a,
needed.
is Tom on a lap?
Tom is on that. Where is Tom right now? I'm looking at Pierre Moreno. Where is Tom on track? Tom is behind Pierre on track, so I'm going to keep with
Okay.
Pierre for now.
Yep.
And Pierre Moreno through the chicane, up 5/10 on his delta, but it's dropping. He got a worse exit. He only needs he needs 600ths to do it. I think he's going to do it. It's going to be P1 for Pierre Moreno, and it is.
Nice.
Meanwhile, Thomas
Well
Jack,
done, Pierre.
6/10 up. Now he crossed the line. I think it's also going to be P1 for him. And it is P1 for Thomas Jack. Ivor Baratz,
Congratulations,
meanwhile,
Tom.
in 5th place, coming down the stretch towards turn 10.
As you can see, the bop seems to be doing its job because these guys are separated by, is that half a second, the top four?
Is thereabouts, yes. Or just over. No, yeah, just under half a second. We'll see, though, where Ivan Baratz ends up. He might, if he gets a good exit, just pip Robin Moe to the post. Which I'll have to see as he rounds New Holland. I'm going to call it that from now on. It's burned into my mind. Nope, he's going to do a 151, I think. Yep, it's a 151, 165 for Ivan Baratz. He takes the pole position in silver class. But there you have your race order.
Yes, we do.
And as I reset my thing to make sure that we can see the race and not the end of session screen, we shall have a look at our grid. You want to run through the grid, Mr. Scott?
Yes, I will, if I can pronounce their names, which is going to be a challenge. We have Thomas Jack in first place in pole. Second, Pierre Moreno. Then M. Kovacs, Robin Moe, Ivan Barrick, Jay Uderdrop, Jameek Smith, M. Louisanas, S. Maudsley, T. Curtis, J. Lacey, Walrack, Dizon, Deep Cuts in 14th, Gottlieb in 15th, Cheba in 16th, and Konstantin in 17th, bringing up the rear. I call Cheba Cheba as that's his online handle, and I don't even want to attempt his surname.
Frederick Sheblam.
Oh, is that the how you pronounce it? Is it?
That's how I pronounce it.
Mm.
If it's right or not. I haven't heard any
will-
complaints. It's not like when our other commentator, Mr. Husky, commentated Rubicon E and got a large response. Despite the fact that was how it was spelt, it was a capital E at the end of Rubicon.
I apologize, person on YouTube who's asking. He's saying the password's not working, and anyone on Discord can help. And then top support, thanks.
I have delegated, as I need other things on my monitors. So this is Daniel's fault, clearly.
Yes, this is indeed my fault. Clearly, I apologize that you haven't received the help in the RP chat. Let me just go see.
The main question is, when did you sign up for the race? Because if you signed up for it today, you may not have been able to enter because the entry list was finalized before the director in charge of that stuff went to Lemons yesterday.
Yes, yes, there were a few drivers that did want to join late, but they had not registered, so it could be that you haven't registered.
Last minute addition to the grid, Mr. Simon Beeg starting P18. There's a fast driver in for.
He was in qualifying for briefly, then he left, and he's obviously come back in.
Well, he's on the grid now. Simon Beeg, who I believe won, or was that Kovacs? No, it was Kovacs that won that. Simon Beeg's won something with us before. I'll have to go and check Victory Lane to see what endurance race. I'm sure it was endurance race.
Let me just take a look at this RP to see if I can help Celso. I believe he's being helped by Mr. Cookie instead. We have another comment on the YouTube by Fozzie Man. Mr. Scott is commentating. Let's go. I'm happy to be here, Mr. Fozzie Man. We are almost here for the start of the race.
It's the start of the formation lap that will then lead to the race. As I check our... You ever do that thing where you look at Discord channel and you just can't find what you're looking for?
Every single day. Every day.
There it
That's
is.
why I'm a big proponent of cleaning up all the Discords and making them as tight as possible.
It's not that more, I know where it is, just my head went weird.
Oh, I get that all the time. Right, we start the formation lap. Dry track, most importantly.
Yes, the track is dry, no weather forecasted in the next 30 minutes at least. But obviously there is an hour of racing, anything could happen towards the end, and we see Thomas Jack lead the grid away for the start of this formation lap. As they come through Renault, because that's what it's called. Well, it was Renault, now it's turn 3, which doesn't have a name. Thank you, Barcelona. One driver I'm interested in right now is Todd Curtis, TC90 in the 90 Porsche.
Yes, he does seem to have a pace.
He has qualified 10th, despite being in the AM class, so could get moved up after this race.
I'll be honest, based on this qualifying order, it's starting to look like we might not need an AM class and just have the two.
Depends on how many amateurs haven't actually turned up, but that could be certainly the case.
But we've got a big mix there, which
certainly
is nice.
The top 5 are where they belong.
Absolutely, yes.
I think as well, Jarmeek Smith, certainly from his own experience, probably belongs in Platinum, even if he has qualified behind 2 silver drivers.
I didn't even notice that S Mod Slave starting third.
Yes, actually, yes, I've only just noticed that myself. Yes, Sam Maudsley must have put in a last-minute lap that we missed. And we'll start third on this grid in the 117 McLaren.
I'll be really honest, I don't remember saying his name third when I was going down the grid.
I don't either, but here he is.
Yeah, here he is, yeah. I think I would have noticed that. But
in the Sky Tempesta racing machine.
It's the pre-season, people, and it's my first race, so be kind.
He's not P3. No, that's a lie. The relative is lying to you because he is, when I go to him, quite a way behind and actually in front of Todd Curtis in the Porsche.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that was a relative. I thought that was an overall.
Well, it is an overall, but when it's an overall on a formation lap, it is basically a relative. So I think he must be slightly behind. But we shall see. As Thomas Jack rounds turn 13, Europe car. No, not round. That wasn't turn 13. That was turn 12, which is called Bank de Sabadell.
Good luck to all the drivers involved, and here's for a very good season, yes, Mr. Andrews.
Let us hope. As they come through the chicane, 2 by 2. One final corner.
I love this bit as a driver. It's when everything calms down and you're just waiting for the green light. It's nice. Calm before the storm.
Oh, I hate this bit as a driver. I hate watching that little timer on top of the screen, trying to maintain it. Thomas Jack comes to the line and will cross it, and they are off.
We're away for the opening for season 9 of the RP series.
And Jarmeek Smith up in the middle of the track, looking to make a move on the Nissan of Ivan Baratz. He does so quite nicely, gets ahead of him before the corner. But Thomas Jack and Pierre Moreno going side by side through turn 1. A little bit of contact there, a little bit of shoving.
Inside.
Oh, Tom gets pushed onto the asphalt.
That's fine.
Oh, again. Pierre Moreno and him as a contact swap. Justin Gottlieb, meanwhile, is off the track. I'm going to go back to that in a little while. I think it's on the contact list. Yes, it is.
He's got also has a drive-through. T. Curtis.
Yes, Todd Curtis has a drive-through, and I don't know what for.
That'll be for being in the wrong position at the start or going too fast at the start.
Well, that is unfortunate, but that is how it is. Pierre Moreno gets tapped by Jarmeek Smith. And Jarmeek now gets passed again by Ivan Baratz.
They're very, very close.
Ivan gets deep into the chicane. And Jarmeek's going to make another little look, but he doesn't have the space to do it. Now he's right in front of Sam Maudsley, who I think is just
back in position.
Gone side by side with him into turn 10 slightly. Jarmeek forced to the inside line. Jacob Alacia trying a move down the inside as well.
It's going to be successful, I think. If you can get around the outside. No, we can't, unfortunately.
Have a look back here. The gap's still very, very close due to the beginning of the race. Jacob Alacia being followed by Elias Eunice.
I love that camera angle.
It is good. That's how a quick gander then back up the top of the field as Martin Kovacs now. 0.1 seconds. Thomas Jack is going to possibly make a move down the inside. He thinks better of it and holds back.
These two fighting here is letting Robert Moe catch up as well, so I expect him to join the battle very soon.
Thomas Jack seriously trying to defend against Martin's attack.
Porsche does use its tyres up, so I think Tom will be hoping for the tyres to go off, because the McLaren is very easy on his tyres. So he just needs to hold position and wait for Kovacs' tyres to go a bit dead.
Todd Curtis, meanwhile, has served his drive-through and comes out P16 behind Konstantin, the AM car in the 74 BMW, the only BMW on this track right now. But, nope, sorry, he has now also dropped places. I think he must have been on the pit exit to Gottlieb and Bieg as well. Now towards the back of the grid, Frederick Schublam in the Bentley looking to take the Porsche of Marc Dizon. I have to remember what his first name was there. I've seen Dizon so many times, but not the Marc bit.
Ah, it's Marc Dizon. And the Marc Dizon team without vowels.
Yes. Who needs vowels? They take too long. Haven't got time for that. Or money to waste on the printing.
We'll all be communicating in emojis in 10 years anyway, so need vowels.
The gap seems to have dropped back a little bit. So around 0.5, 0.6 seconds.
They're running at a quick pace, because Deep Cuts is a driver that's quite quick. He's around our pace, and he's sitting in 11th right now. So the pace of the field is quite quick at the moment.
Well, it certainly has been. If I have a look, the fastest lap thus far is Thomas Jack in P1 with a 145.3. It's 145s down to P4, a 146 in P5. Essentially then hovering 146, 147 for the rest of the grid. Deep Cuts has only managed a 148.5 at the moment, which certainly puts him at risk of being caught by Marc Dizon, who has himself done a 147.6.
Ah, the track is fast. I was wondering, those times are a bit slow.
Yes, the track is fast. It's not yet up to its optimum temperature.
I would expect 44s from the top guys, so that explains that.
Well, the heat will also have something to say, as it is pouring sun, 30 degrees in the air and 40 degrees on track. And for the Americans watching, that's in Celsius.
Kovacs is going to have to be very careful with his tyres. He's pushing in the dirt air of Tom, and that's not going to help them at all. So we'll see how he gets on. But I would expect them to fall off at some point.
We can see two major groups emerging at the top of the grid. Is Thomas Jack and Martin Kovacs, followed by Robin Moe and Pierre Moreno.
It's going to be a very fascinating season to see where these four end up, because they're all right there on pace with each other, depending on the track.
And that's what's going to be really fascinating, because we have no season in this race where we can simply say, well, this person's going to run with it because they're in the Porsche, or this person's in the McLaren. We're going to actually have some proper fighting, I think, between these all season long. No free race wins.
This is purely based on their skill, so we'll get to see which of these guys is top dog this season.
Right, I want to have a quick look. I want to double check if I can find it. Yes, I'm going to have a look. Gottlieb has pitted already, possibly to repair that damage he got on lap 1. And was he's just getting passed by those cars as he comes out of the pit lane.
He's been lapped, I assume.
Yes, he has, and he's going to have to do his best to not impede these cars, but also not let them by too easy, as he has himself just pitted. So we'll probably still maintain pace to many of them.
He'll have the fuel to the end, but his tyres will be dead with the last 20 minutes, I'd say, because the Lamborghini's not so light on his tyres either.
He gets onto the grass out of turn 4.
It's an interesting, if it was a strategy choice, it's a very interesting one. I'm not sure it'll work out for him.
The reason I wanted to look at him was because I wanted to do this, and I'm going to have a quick look at the replay of his first lap incident. I think we have it. see him. Oh, he got shunted by the
Oh, he did.
BMW.
Hit multiple times, he'll have damage. That's why
Yeah, it was the BMW of this man here, Yanis Konstantin.
He'll have some damage too. Not as much, I'd say, but
in the Romyan BMW M Racing Spirit team, and I saw the flag there, and I assume that is Romania and not Chad, but it could be either.
Our very first Chad driver.
The true Chad driver. He has a little bit of damage there, at least on the front end. I was going to say very damaged, but you never know in ACC.
Yeah, he could have 2 seconds, he could have 30 seconds. We've got no way of knowing, unfortunately.
What we do know, however, is he is currently P15 and ahead of his class teammate who served that early drive-through.
Yeah, he's currently, I suppose, winning his class, but T. Curtis is second and last, I guess.
Yeah, we see Todd Curtis down here in yet another Porsche TC90 team. We shall have to see where he can pick up to by the end of this race. The gap between him and Simon Bieg ahead is 23.5 seconds. Now, I don't think, knowing Simon Bieg, that he's going to gain on that, but he should hopefully gain on the cars ahead of Bieg, as he was P10 or something. I think P10, P11 at the start of the race.
I think so.
Having put in quite a nice quali time. And Justin Gottlieb, meanwhile, a lap down and 1 minute 13 off of Curtis.
Kovacs putting a fastest lap, but I think Tom's starting to pull away now.
Yep, Kovacs just put in a 1:44.9. That is the fastest lap of the race. However, it should be noted, Thomas Jack actually did a 1:44.8.
Oh.
But it wasn't valid.
It was not invalid, yeah.
However,
okay,
valid or not valid doesn't matter because he still put in a faster lap.
Yes, he did, and then it looks like he's still right on his tail. You might get him here, actually. It's very difficult as a driver to overtake in Barcelona because the straight is so sharp, and you've got the chicane that doesn't help with the exit. So it is very difficult to overtake you. We'll see. Any other track being that close behind, I think in the slipstream you'd get them, but not here. Yep. He's going to have a run on him, though.
As we see, Gottlieb, yellow flag, having to avoid. Let's have a quick gander at what happened there.
Gottlieb's not having a great race this week.
Oh, I think I missed it a little bit, but I think, yeah, he just lost it, possibly on the curb. He had to try and avoid. Luckily, he could go left and turn around without impeding anyone else. Right, Kovacs now, 0.1 second, almost made a move there, I think, into turn 4. Failed to do so, got a little bit pushed out by Thomas Jack, but certainly looking to make that move done. He probably wants to run in clean air and try and hopefully preserve his tyres and not have him wear too much before the end of the race. Obviously, we'll take a new set halfway through. There is a mandatory tyre change as part of our mandatory pit stop, but he won't be running these too long in this wash from the car ahead.
It's a very fascinating battle with the top 4. We'll see if we can get him. But as I said, I'm expecting Kovacs' tyres and maybe Pierre's to come off a bit and start to wear faster than Thomas's. I'm no idea how the Nissan is on its tyres because obviously no one ever drives it usually. So we'll see.
We shall have to see. I do just want to take a moment to have a look at the custom BOP. The Porsche here, 992, has got no, sorry, that's the wrong track. Where's Barcelona? There you are. It has got 18 kilograms extra added to it, ballast-wise.
Ah, okay.
So it might, I don't know, that might have a little effect on the tyre wear as well.
I believe it would.
Well, it's extra weight in the car.
Well, extra weight in the car means more weight on the load tyre when they're going down turn 3.
Precisely.
So the front left, this is a front left limited track, so I imagine his front left is going to be screaming with the heat and the pace and sitting in his dirty air.
I have this interesting point here. I'm going to watch these two into turn 4 and then we're going to quickly switch, but we're going to try and have a look to see, as Kovacs cannot make a move and Pierre Moreno also makes no move, but Sam Morsley now on the rear of Ivan Baratz.
Oh yes.
Looking to take P6 and looking to make it a fully platinum 1 through 6 as well. Sam has worked his way up through the field a little bit from the race start. I don't think he'll get it done on this occasion.
Yeah, he's quite quick.
Looks like he's dropped back a bit, however, in that middle sector. 0.8 seconds now. It was 0.2 into turn 4. Speaking of 0.2, Simon Beeg, there's a little battle for 12 developing here, as we have Deep Cuts leading Sherblum, leading Beeg, leading Walrack.
Looks like he's the cork in the bottle is Deep, and we'll
He
see
certainly is.
if he can keep that position. He should have good tyre wear in that car, so we'll see.
I should give notice to Benjamin Walrack, our Hilliers Community Racing driver this season, the only Hilliers Community Racing driver on track at the moment, and our reigning AM winner, who has now become a silver driver for this season, and hopefully will be able to put up a good fight and continue his successes.
I hope so. He's improved a lot as Walrack, and I think he will take advantage of some of the coaching we offer.
That is Simon Beeg trying to make a little look to the outside. It is AMG versus Bentley. It is Beeg versus Sherblum.
Sherblum will have the slipstream from Deep as well, so let's take a look.
But I think the Mercedes power, with whatever the ballast may be, the power of the Mercedes.
He's also got the slipstream from Deep.
Got a little bit of slipstream there.
That was a mistake, I think, from the Bentley. He should have kept in Deep slipstream.
But that is Simon Beeg past Frederick Sherblum and now on the rear of Deep Cuts. I'm surprised, to be honest. Every time I look at it, I'm surprised that the McLaren gives any slipstream. It's so aerodynamic.
It'll be very little, but I imagine the Bentley gives lots and lots.
I think we should have a look at one of the cars that might give the most, which is the brick that is the Nissan of Robin Moe.
Yeah, I think Robin Moe, obviously, with the custom BOP, they get an advantage, but they still have there's nothing we can do about the electronics of the car. So I think he is at a little bit of a disadvantage compared to the cars around him.
Well, I think that's what we also saw with Beeg there. The Mercedes power is still Mercedes power.
Yes, exactly.
We're still going to see some of that going into effect, even if the cars are still close together on average. But we have Robin Moe still 2 seconds, only 2 seconds to be fair, back from Martin Kovacs and Thomas Jack. And still under threat from Pierre Moreno behind.
He could be just biding his time, keeping his tyres.
We have it, Simon Beeg. Oh, the switchback. Deep tries to pull the switchback, but he gets a little loose on the exit.
Mercedes power.
I think Deep Cuts there. Just failing to hold on to it. I'm going to quickly have a look back at that.
I expect Deep Beeg to drive away now, if I'm honest. Very strong around here, I believe, the Mercedes.
We're going to see. Simon made a look to the inside, a lunge down, goes a little bit deep. Deep takes the tiniest fraction of opportunity, but couldn't get back on the power quick enough.
Nope, just couldn't do it. And then he cut him off.
That would have been fantastic if he held on to that. And now he is 1.3 seconds back from Simon Beeg already.
Yeah, Beeg will pull away in the straights because of the Mercedes power, so I expect him to keep that position for now.
I'm going to then have a little look down. The battle for 6th that's still happening. Sam Maudsley has not yet been able to get past Ivan Baratz. And Jeroen Oderdorp is still within that 1 second gap of the two of them. Sam looks to the outside, but there's just no room to use if he wanted it. What was that, sorry?
He's over the back of them. I think he might get him on the inside here.
Side by side through turn 9, down onto the straight, but Ivan's going to have the inside line.
Yeah, no doing there.
And that's allowed Jeroen Oderdorp to be right inside the diffuser of the Sky Tempesta car.
Could have put a piece of paper between all three of them there.
Meanwhile, up ahead, I do want to note, Pierre Moreno has dropped back to 1 second off of Robin Moe.
He might be trying to tires slightly. They'll be overheating, I believe. So
we have is now half a stint into this current mandatory stop session. If you do a half an hour stint, at least, it might go longer.
The Porsches will be starting to feel the tire wear now, I believe.
I mean, that's the question. Do you think the Porsche is going to go longer and try and get a good stint at the end, or do you think they're going to just half and half it and take the damage?
I think they'll half and half it. They'll have to, because I don't think the overcut would work because of their tires. But, you know, I could be wrong. That's just what I believe will happen. I think Kovacs and Pierre might be well suited to do an undercut, to be honest. Get out on fresh tires.
Meanwhile, Simon Beek makes a move up the inside on to Mark Dizon, I think that was. Yes, it was. The time trial hasn't updated, but he has overtaken Mark Dizon for P11 on track. Yes, that's what my race controller is saying. My timing tower on the thing hasn't updated. There we go. Now it has. That was a good move by Simon Beek into turn 1. Meanwhile, Maudsley still looking to try anything to overtake the Nissan, the QP car of Mr. President himself, Ivan Baratz. The man who once set, I think, the longest lap time in RP history when he retired for 4 hours of the 6 hours of Spa, came back at the end of the race and finished a lap with a 4-hour lap time on the clock.
The longest lap time in Spa history.
There is less than a second separating these three drivers right now. Jerome is doing a fantastic job to keep on the back of both of them.
Oh, absolutely. I think Ivan Barak's doing a great job defending against the Lamborghini, to be honest.
He's using what that car has, which is a good deal of straight line speed. I think it's working for Jacob Alacia, meanwhile, sitting off track.
No, no.
Has there been a contact? I think there might have been. No, there wasn't. No, that timestamp is wrong. Let me go back and see. That was timed perfectly, that one, Daniel.
Oh.
Oh, he got onto the curb and just lost it himself. I don't know if he got all the way over to the grass there. I think he just bounced himself on that curbing.
Waited for everyone to go by. Nice and safe.
Yeah, good rejoin, good safe rejoin that.
Doesn't look like the stewards will have many tickets so far.
There are a few contacts on the board, but nothing that I've seen that leads to major yellow flags. See, Kovac still 0.4 seconds back from Thomas Jack, holding on well with those tyres and the wear they must be experiencing. Compared to Pierre Moreno, at least, who has now taken 1.5 seconds back off of Robin Moe.
Yeah, his tyres are starting to go off. He can't keep that pace right behind the car without overheating his fronts. So I think he's came back a little bit. Get the tyres colder, and then he might come back again for another run, but we'll see. I expect him to start pitting in the next 10 minutes or so.
Meanwhile, let's go back to the battle. Sam gets a little bit wide out of turn 12. Now down to the chicane. Let's see if he can get the GTR on this lap, but that was a good exit from Ivan. Not so good, I think, from Sam. A little bouncing there, which is usually all right round there, but certainly not as good as someone who gets a smooth exit like that. Robin Moe, meanwhile, has pitted early in this race. So that has allowed Pierre Moreno to take P3.
Oh. So Robin's doing the undercut. I wonder if he's hoping he can get closer to Kovacs and Jack by putting on a fresh set.
We'll have to see how this ends up. I'm not sure how the Nissan is on its tyres. It'll be interesting to see that throughout the season.
Jacob Alacia in the pits as well.
Yep, I've just seen that. Jacob Alacia has come into the pit lane after that spin. There was no damage, I think, from it, but maybe just wanted to get a fresh pair of boots on.
I'm very curious to see how Robin does here, because we have no real information on how the Nissan does in its tyres. It could be he just melted them and he had to pit, but I don't expect so. I expect Robin can keep his tyres going a bit longer. This must be tactical, I think.
I do actually want to see. I'm going to quickly go back, because Jacob Alacia is in the pit. There is a contact on the list that we didn't look at. I'm going to have a quick look at it now.
Yeah, let's take a look. Well, things are static.
So it was between him and the Lamborghini. I think, got away with... No, he didn't. That could be a ticket in. I think
That
just
will be
outbraked himself. And that was the Lamborghini of Justin Gottlieb. That might be what caused Gottlieb to come into the pit lane early.
No, he pit early.
No, he did. Sorry, no, he pitted really early, didn't he? That must have been after the pit stop then. That's not going to be very happy for him.
He's having a horrific race, and that wasn't his fault at all, I don't think. So, yeah, one to forget for Justin, but he'll come back again. He's a great driver, so I expect him to be back for the first race of the season.
It looks like all the gaps are pretty even. There's only about 2 battles happening majorly on this track right now, and that's this one for the lead with Martin Kovacs and Thomas Jack, and the battle for 5th with Ivan Bratz, Sam Morsley, and Jerome Odador.
The only issue I see for Robin is he's about to start coming through that traffic, so if that holds him up, I think that might end up slowing down his net time for when the rest of the pit stops get done. So we'll see how quickly he gets through these arms. You'll have to do it quickly.
I wanted to
if
have a
anyone
look,
can, it would be Robin.
The interior camera on this is terrible.
It's not great, is it?
Let's go to the body cam and see what that looks like.
That's better, I guess.
I think, yes, he might get caught up by this traffic by the end of this lap.
I think so.
1.5 seconds to Todd Curtis ahead, and Todd obviously having not yet pitted.
This is good for Pierre. This is really good for Pierre because he was only a second behind, so all it takes is Robin to get caught up a second behind these guys. And then Pierre will come out on fresher tyres, possibly ahead.
Fresher tyres for certain. Cold tyres, however, which may be where Robin Moe hopes to benefit.
Yeah, I'd love to see what the strategy reasoning is, so I'll be sure to ask him after the race.
Well, we will if he wins.
I'll do either way. Whether the stream sees it or not, that's a different question.
Jamik Smith, meanwhile, overtakes Pierre Moreno as Pierre Moreno comes into the pit lane.
Okay, here we go. Pierre's responded to Robin.
See Pierre trundling down.
I wonder if this is because his tyres are going off or just to respond to Robin.
Robin Moe, meanwhile, now up at turn 9.
Being held up.
He's being held up a little bit.
Out here.
I think he's going to make the overtake into turn 10. Let's have a look. He's making a dive.
Yeah,
Todd is giving him the space, and he is ahead before the end of the corner.
He's ahead, but it still would have cost him some time. Where is Pierre? He's still in the pits.
Pierre, there's a yellow flag, and he said white.
Oh,
yellow flag for Constantine. Let's have a look what happened here.
Looks like all by himself.
Pressed the button, but didn't go. Yep, he got onto the exit, the apex curb of the second part of the chicane. Bounced himself around. Let's have a look then.
The fight. Let's see.
Robin Moe is on the main straight. Pierre Moreno leaving the pit lane. Robin punches him, beats him to the punch even. Punches
by
him.
many seconds. Robin's performed that undercut wonderfully. He's gained a massive gap on Pierre now.
That is.
It's went from 1 second to what? At least
we'll have
6.
To see when the timing tower updates.
It looks at least 5. So he's at least.
It's giving him a gap of 2.5 seconds, but that'll be to Todd Curtis.
Yes.
And then an extra 2 to Robin Moe. So that's a good 5 or 4.5 seconds between himself and Robin.
Oh, we've got Thomas Jack coming into the pits. This is the vital part of this race. This will be where it's won or lost for Tom.
Meanwhile, we have Deep Cut still fighting with Mark Dizon.
Here's the question. Will Robin Moe come out ahead of Thomas?
Wow.
Because that undercut, he gained pace on Pierre, so...
You'll certainly have to see. The track, interestingly, it's still fast. But it has not yet reached an optimum state.
That's odd. Because for 17 drivers running around a dry track, it should be optimum by this point.
Maybe it's just too hot?
Maybe, yeah. Does it come down from optimum?
I don't. Oh, there we go.
And as we speak, it pops to optimum.
So that's
right
25 minutes for the track to reach an optimum state. That's quite interesting. I'm wondering if that played any sort of part in the tyre choices.
Robin's coming round. Can we see Thomas
coming round? Thomas Jack is out of the pit lane.
He's out of the pit lane.
At the end of the straight now, but on those cold tyres, Robin has clean air between himself and Thomas Jack.
There's still a large... Well... Looks like the gap has opened up.
This, I don't quite know. No, it's a 3.6 second gap between Robin Moe and Thomas Jack. I think Robin's undercut has worked.
It's not enough.
But we will then have to see when Kovacs eventually comes into the pit lane.
Kovacs will need to pit this lap or next, otherwise he will lose the position to Robin Moe.
I am wondering though, if Tom timed this or if Robin tried to time it, with the track still being fast for so long, getting new tyres for the optimum still.
I mean, it would be highly impressive if they did. I think it's more been a happy coincidence, but we'll
I don't know.
see.
I've seen these people race, keep an eye on that track condition. Like everything depends on it before it goes optimum.
Very true. These are the best drivers in RP series and some of the best in league racing, so they know their stuff.
We shall have to see then when
Fight for the
Kovacs
win.
decides to come in. Meanwhile, it is Frederick Scherblum who has now right on the rear.
The Kovac hasn't come in this
Well, he
lap.
was on the rear, sorry, of deep cuts, but now you see
Okay.
Mark Dizon comes into the pit lane and deep cuts through to 7th, Frederick Scherblum through to 8th. It looks like Frederick Scherblum is going to be possibly catching deep quite soon. He seems to have a little bit of pace on him. Though that last lap was slightly slower, but he did get stuck behind a pitting car at the end of it. And we have a new best lap time. It is Pierre Moreno with a 1:44.835.
He's getting a hurry on now.
Which is almost
He's
a
seen
full...
that the undercut worked.
Yep, that's almost a full 10th below the last fastest lap time, which is still Martin Kovacs with a 1:44.945. Only two drivers currently in the 44s.
How far behind is he to Robin?
Pierre Moreno is 4.9 seconds behind
so
Robin
be safe
Moe.
there. I don't think he'll be getting Kovacs. Something's happened with Pierre. I don't know if he maybe didn't hit his pit box correctly and he lost that 5 seconds maybe.
It's always a possibility.
It doesn't seem he was right behind Robin and now the undercut is either worked spectacularly or something's happened. Jamaica in the pit lane now.
Meanwhile, your race leader, yes, Jarmick Smith comes into the pit lane from P2. Ivan Baratz has taken that spot for him, as has Jerome Odedorp taken P3. Martin Kovacs, meanwhile, your race leader.
His last lap was a 45.3. What was Robin's and Tom's last lap, if you don't mind me asking?
Yes, Robin's last lap was a 1:45. Sorry, no, a 1:45. Yes, 1:45.085. Tom's was it says a 2:42, but I'm not sure if that's just updated. Jake Lacey, meanwhile, I'm going to have to have a quick look here.
Oh.
Yes, another spin. That's 2.
Yeah.
Because he just had a yellow flag for himself as well, which I think I've missed the
wow.
chance to go back and see. And he has retired from this race.
Oh, that's a shame for Jaker.
That is a shame for Jacob Alacia.
You'll come back next week.
We have also lost the 74 BMW car from this race as well.
We have, yes. I didn't see that.
Martin Kovacs now on an invalid lap as he comes to the final sector.
Surely he should pit this lap. He has
Have to see. I mean, this is the halfway point. If you were to pit and go half and half, you would do it now. But he is coming in very late on the call. But he is pitting now.
Listen for the win then. Let's take a look.
We shall see where he decides to come out.
Has Robin gained on Tom? I believe he has he? Slightly. No, he's lost a 10th.
As Ivan Baratz takes the net race lead and Jerome Odedorp follows him through. Let's have a look. Where is Thomas Jack? Thomas Jack is down at the exit of turn 10. Up to the bank, the Saradell.
He has to stop for 30 seconds, remember, so let's see where he comes out.
Certainly be cutting it close. It did look like his pit box was quite far up the order though, so he might get a good exit.
Yeah.
Martin Kovacs is still coming out now. It's going to be very close, but Thomas Jack gets him as he's still getting up to speed. But he comes out right behind him and between himself and Robin Moe.
So Pierre has been the big loser out of all these pit stops then.
Well, it looks like he is. I mean, still net P4.
Yes, yeah.
But certainly has not gained as much as he would like, where Robin Moe now still 2.3 behind Martin Kovacs. Martin Kovacs, 0.8 seconds for a second before he had to back off through the corners. But he is now stuck behind. Yes, he's stuck behind Justin Gottlieb.
It's Oderdorp. He's behind, I believe.
Sorry, Oderdorp. No, that's Justin Gottlieb.
Oh, apologies.
Oderdorp is in a different Lamborghini and is currently running P2.
So we still have 5 drivers left to pit. Obviously, these guys are out of position at the moment, so we'll see how long it takes Thomas to catch up to them. Yep. Very curious to see what happened with Pierre in his pit stop, because he's the only one to seem to lose out. The rest seem to be of held position.
I think he must have had some sort of issue in terms of getting into the box or into the pit lane itself, maybe overslowed.
Yeah, I think ACC does a peculiar thing where if you don't hit your marks exactly, you lose 5 seconds while it moves you around.
Yes, it does. There's also the other option, which is that he had a little bit of damage to repair. As we see there, Justin Gottlieb in the escape road. Let's have a look what happened to him.
Oh, Justin. He's having a horror show.
You see, I think he just went too deep.
He went off, I think, to let Robin through.
I don't think Robin was really the major cause of that. I think he just went a little too deep.
I think it may have been a choice to get out the way, because he didn't look like he lost control, he didn't lock up, he wasn't wiggling or anything, he just very slowly went off the track. So
I'm also talking about that. He also let Pierre Morello through into turn 1.
Yeah, I think he's just letting traffic through. Which is not needed, obviously, but is appreciated by the drivers in front. And we have nothing in the YouTube chat at the moment, so all good.
It's my watchful eye. That is Daniel Scott.
Yes, I don't want to miss another message.
Ivan Brass, meanwhile, comes into the pit lane. Once again, very late. These people are very late coming in, as does Joran Oderdorp.
Yeah, they seem to want to maximise that pit entry.
Shall we see? Simon Beek stays out.
Okay.
I think Simon Beek is going for as long as he can on these sets of tyres, going for a splash and dash towards the end. With the tyre change, fair enough, not technically a splash and dash, but at the very least a very quick car with fresh tyres, maybe to finish this race off.
It'll be interesting to see which of those comes out ahead.
Well, you remember Simon Beek started well out of position, having joined late. Did miss the qualifying session.
Yes, he did.
Joined on the grid. So maybe he's just hoping that with that last stint and this stint, he can pull enough away in clean air and maybe finish up the order a bit more than he currently has done.
I mean, if he's taking care of his tyres and, you know, they're still feeling good, then he'll have a very light car, so we'll see how much he fueled for, I guess.
Meanwhile, Benjamin Morak also comes into the pits, the Ferrari car of the Helios Community Racing team. We'll see where that puts him out.
If you overfuel for the first stint, you're going to be very slow. He's obviously put enough fuel in to survive to go this long, so we'll see. He also have a quick car when he comes out.
Also to note, Frederick Schöblem running P2, having also not pitted. These are the only 2 cars not to have yet pitted. 20 seconds though behind Simon Beek, which by my estimate means Simon Beek's going to come out maybe ahead of Jarmeek Smith. I'm not quite sure where he was when Jarmeek went in, but
if he finishes P7, that is a fantastic race from Beek. That is driver of the day for me.
Sure,
if he does
it. I don't think that will be. He probably will come out about I want to say P8 at a push with a really good stop.
About a minute you lose. Because it's about 30-second drive.
Simon Beek, yellow flag on the record, but that means he is pitting, not that he has spun round.
Would you get a yellow flag for speeding into the pit lane?
No, it just sometimes it gives you a yellow flag on the timing tower, so I was like, yellow flag for the leader. And it's like, oh no, he's just pitting. Meanwhile, Frederick Schöblem, he's going to lead a lap of this race.
Amazing. He's currently leading the silver category by quite a fair margin, but I'm not sure he would come out ahead of Ivan.
I think he will come up behind them as he was behind them to start with. This reminds me of,
he has had a very light car, so he could be pumping in some good laps here if he's taking care of his tyres enough.
This reminds me of the Aaron Rain strategy of keep going for as long as you can and just bet like 10 minutes, 10 minutes to the end.
It's a strategy I've seen quite often in ACC because if you're able to take care of your tires, then you can do a lot more laps on a lighter car.
Simon Beek is rolling. He's coming out of the pit lane. I think Imbratz has got him, as has Jeroen Oderdorp, as has Mantas Leotsinis. I can't pronounce that. That name's struggling, man. I'm
We'll have
struggling.
to ask him after the race.
Bono, man. I'm struggling. But Simon B comes out P11 with fresh tyres, lower fuel, which I have to see what he can do against these other cars, although Jeroen Odendorp and Ivan Bratz both pitted rather recently.
Yeah, I mean, Beek's got a good advantage over these guys if you get his tyres up to the temperature, so we'll see how he does. But as I said, it's very difficult to overtake here, so we'll see how it goes.
But Mantas is right on the rear of Jeroen Odendorp, only 0.3 seconds separating them. Oh, very cutting of that corner. I think there might be a warning.
I hope that was a track cut.
I mean, I hope it was, otherwise I know what line I'm taking. Simon B cresting the hill in the background. I think Odethorpe might, if he can put in some good laps, get away from him here. A little wiggle there from the McLaren as it exits turn 12. Now through the chicane, turn 14, sorry, 15. I think that's him dropped down to 0.8 seconds. Thomas Jack, meanwhile, now is going to get held up by the race leader, who has still yet to pit.
Oh, okay.
And there is no, obviously no blue flags here, but I think, is Frederick going to be nice? Yep, Frederick.
Yeah. No, he's not.
No, he's just taking a wider line into it. I thought it looked like he was going to, but
this will be infuriating Thomas Jack.
Martin Kovacs is going to be very happy.
Right up behind them.
Thomas Jack, not so much. Martin's now 0.5 seconds. There's no way Tom makes a move into here.
But probably into the straight.
Possibly,
yeah, he's got the gun on him. He's got it.
I'm just going to see how hard Chebot decides to fight this.
Oh, he's fighting it though. They both break late.
But Martin Kovacs absolutely up. Little contact between Martin and Chebot as Martin tries to make his way through.
Kovacs needed that. He needed that if he wants to fight for the win. He couldn't afford to get stuck behind Chebot for a lap.
Now we can see them coming through to turn 13.
Right, let's see if we can get a run into turn 1. See, this is the issue. This chicane here and then the last corner because you're in the dirt air. You see how much he's lost some time in the last 2 corners?
Yep,
just a car length, maybe?
I want to note that on the last lap, Thomas Jack had put in the fastest lap of the race at a 1:44.457. But Kovac's not far behind.
Doesn't look like Kovac will be able to do it into turn 1, so he's going to have to find somewhere else to make the move, I think. Maybe into turn 4?
We'll have to see. Tom using all of that track as he possibly could. I think he brushed a wall there, maybe even. Trying to use as much of that track into turn 1.
Kovac will be trying his absolute best, and he's got the fresh tyres, obviously, so we'll see. But as I said before, and I think it happened last time, the Porsche does use its tyres, so you'll have limited time to get this move done, I think.
We have 20 minutes just under in this race. Well, probably over once we get the final lap.
Has Pierre caught up to Robin? I think he has he?
Pierre Moreno is 1.3 seconds behind Robin Moore. I don't know if Robin's been stuck in traffic. Frederick Sherblin, meanwhile, has now pitted. And that means everyone on this track still has taken their pit stop.
Oh, Gottlieb in the pits again.
And Justin Gottlieb back in the pit lane. I wonder why that is.
Well, he pit very early, and I did say that his tyres would suffer and they'd be dead by about 20 minutes to go.
Tyres would suffer, but I mean, these tyres can still go for the full hour.
They can, but this is obviously the front left is very limited to this track, and with the heat and with the spins, I would say that maybe that front left is just dead, and he has nothing to lose, so why not at this point just get some fresh rubber on, avoid the pain.
Thomas Jack and Martin Kovacs, 2 drivers who spent
Oh, he's got a run on this
He
time.
has got a run on him. Two drivers who spent 6 hours yesterday in the same car at Bathurst. Now, two different cars fighting for the win here at Barcelona.
Tom's fighting for his life here.
So side by side into turn one. Tom has the inside line. Kovacs does not try anything major, but
He's
sticks
trying
it. Little bumping. Tom into the gravel. Stays just ahead.
Yeah, but Kovacs will get him around here, I think. No, he's not going to get him around the outside. Some wonderful defending from Tom.
Tom is using everything that McLaren has to give him, but Kovacs is doing the same for the Porsche. Still managed to stick it.
Kovacs all the inside line.
Switch back, maybe. No.
Oh, no. Tom's got him.
Tom defends to the inside. To come round turn 5 down the hill through turn 6 up to turn 7. It's a pre-season race, exactly. There's no points, so may as well race.
They're giving us a wonderful race to commentate, so I can thank them for that at least.
Meanwhile, Pierre Moreno behind 0.9 seconds to Robin Moe. I'm going to keep an eye on that. As we see these two scrap it out, you can see the timing tower on the left, 0.01 for a second there.
Tom just needs to make sure he gets a good exit out of these last two corners, and then he should be okay down the straight.
Out of turn 10.
Kovacs' tires are newer because he pit a good, what, 3-4 laps later?
He did. He has a couple laps tyre advantage on the McLaren. But I think this is coming just down. Nothing technical about it. Purely two drivers with great pace fighting for a win.
He got a good run out of that last the chicane. So I think he's fine this time. Yeah, he's okay this time.
We'll have to see. The slipstream will play into Kovacs' hands. I think it is.
Oh, it is. He's got the run. No, he doesn't. No. That was just a camera angle. It made him look a lot closer than he was.
Tom, once again, running very wide. Kovacs opting for staying on the black stuff.
And you can see that got him another few inches. This is how close it is. We're talking inches now, not car lengths.
You can see in the background there, Robin Moe and Pierre Moreno. 1 second between them still.
Well, I'm going to thank these two after the race because this has been a wonderful battle to watch.
It has been beautiful, but it's not over.
No, still another 60 minutes to go.
Still end in happiness for one or tears for both.
I think they'll come out of this both happy, to be honest. There's nothing to play for, and they've had a really fun race, so I think they'll both come out of this happy. I think Tom will be cursing Cheba's name, but he'll be happy.
Meanwhile, actually further down the order, the battle for P7 is heating up. And I have a quick switch to it. It is 0.4 seconds between Oladorp and Ivan Baratz. I'm not sure if Mr. President himself had a problem, but these two are now in a scrap of their own.
They are, yes.
Back.
This fight for the lead looks like it's going to... He's right on the back of him here. He's just got to make sure through the chicane and through the last turn he gets a good exit. Keep it tidy, and he should be okay. Alright, he hits his marks. Yep. Oh, you know, he is on the back of him. Does he have it, though? I don't think he does.
That's a good run. I think Tom is going to have to stick to the inside here if he wants to defend. I think he is. Yep, Tom takes the inside. They are going to be very close to touching. Kovacs tries to go. He does.
You'll get a better exit through here.
They are taking completely opposing lines through these corners. Tom's going to try and hold that inside, I think. He does so. Yep, he stays away from that left-hand curve as much as he can.
He's almost bump drafting him along the track. Come on, boys.
He's currently outside of turn 5.
He's trying it. He's trying it. I think he's kept laughing a bit.
The hub-to-hub. Oh, almost. I think that was more camera angle than anything else.
Yeah, I think so.
Tom just had the run.
Tom went a bit wide, though. Kovacs has got him.
He's not going to try it up into turn 9. He's going to have to try something into turn 10, but he gets on the curb.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing in these cars as they are at the moment.
He had the opportunity, but I think he lost it by getting a bit squirrely through turn 9 there. Tom went a bit wide through the corkscrew.
Tom's prayers and hopes are going to rest upon the shoulders of the gods of tyre wear
Yeah, I think so. You'll be hoping those tires go off, because they will go off, because you can't stay that far behind, that close to a car behind for this long without the tires overheating. Especially, track temperature has come down a bit, the track temp, but it's still very hot.
So
And this Porsche does eat its tires.
That was another good run from
Yeah,
Kovacs. Tom
very close.
immediately making to the right for the defense.
I think he might have him here, but no, he just doesn't have the top speed.
Tom
Even
once
with the
again goes to
slipstream.
defend for everything. I'm going to go to the helicam here. I want to see these opposing lines in action once again.
Yeah,
Slightly later on the brakes, Thomas Jack. Kovacs trying that switch.
Tom
I
covers him
love
off.
it. I absolutely love watching these different lines going to play. Tom once again going to stick to that right-hand side curb as much as he can. Block off any attack.
These guys are just so good at what they do around here, and watching them drive so close together without touching. Wonderful to watch.
Absolutely fantastic. Through turn 4, but that's Tom gone a little wide.
Oh, yes, he's going wide.
But
it's
trying.
okay.
He's on the brakes. He's almost contact. Maybe a little bit there.
A little bit, maybe, but it's okay. I think Tom's got a better run out, though, so he's survived. Living to fight another day. Kovacs is going to start to get desperate, because he'll know his tyres are going off, and he knows he doesn't have a lot of time left, but the gap has widened a bit. Maybe this is... That was his best opportunity.
Off. And I'm sorry to say, we missed the pass. Robin Moe for P3. Let's have a look. Pierre Meriso for P3. Robin Moe's pulling off to the side. Has he got... What's happened there?
He lost some time there. What happened? Oh.
I'm looking to see.
Robin's got equipment issues. It'll be his wheel.
He must do. He has had historically wheel disconnect issues. I think that's coming to play here. I saw him slow down at the end of this straight.
Yeah,
you can see it now.
He'll be putting his wheel back on. Oh, that's heartbreaking for him.
That is heartbreaking for Robin Moe, but we don't have time to grieve as once again, up turn 1, look at the amount of right-hand side Thomas Jack is using. Thomas is defending as best as he knows how. Kovacs really needs to try and get a good outside line through this corner. He just don't think it's there for the Porsche.
He won't have the front left anymore to do it.
He looks, he's trying to. Is he going to try and force it? No, he's going to try the outside again. I think it's best hope. There he goes. He makes it. Tom goes a little bit deep, and Kovacs takes advantage through turn 4.
It's not over yet. Tom can still get him. Yeah, it's good. Yep, I think Tom's okay.
No. Kovacs is still there. He has the right to that space for now, and he's going to have the outside for this one, but the inside for the next. He backs off of it a bit too early, I think, but he keeps the space. A little bit of brushing there between the two cars.
A little bit.
I think
Tom might get him
a little contact, and Kovacs is ahead. And that's 0.6 second gap already.
Yeah, I think he can pull ahead now. It's going to be very difficult for Tom to overtake him, I think.
But we'll see if the tyre wear kicks in later on. I think there was a point there where Kovacs could have reached out and cleaned Tom's windows if he had so wished.
They could have took that corner hand in hand.
Meanwhile, down the order, let's have a look. Simon Beeg on the rear of Mantas. Simon still trying to reclaim his places that he lost by not taking bike quality. I think that's fair to say. He's definitely a quick enough driver. He would have been ahead of his starting position. Oh yeah. Mantas goes deep into turn 10.
And I think B will get him here with a Mercedes power.
He has done, certainly.
Yeah. That was always going to happen, I think.
Jeroen Odell, meanwhile, now 0.4 seconds behind still Ivan Baratz.
It looks like Gottlieb's retired. He stayed in the pits.
I do find it fun when people do that. They retire, but they stay in the pits because they want to watch the race.
I mean, I do not blame them. What a race to watch. What a first race to commentate as well. It's been very exciting. Tom with the fastest lap still. Tom less than a second behind. He's still fighting.
Gap's just reached a second on my timing time. Race control 1.1 now, just flickering. But I think they have about equal pace, but Tom doesn't have the advantage that he wants.
Funny, our timing tires are different. Mine is 9/10 in game.
you're on the in-game race controls, usually a little bit more accurate and a little bit more updating. The time tower updates only every now and then.
That's Robin, 6.9 behind.
Yep, Robin Moe, 2.2 second gap overall to PM Renault.
Yeah. That's a shame. It really is. Kovacs has stretched out his gap to 1.3.
Drouin, 0.2 seconds behind the Nissan. Oh, but he has to, I think, it was a bit later on the brakes, but had to try and avoid as the Nissan make the turn in, but he's still within that distance. Shall we see if the Lamborghini has a good interior? Why are all these interiors so offset?
They're all a bit strange, aren't they? They're not great.
We can have a look at the driver if you want.
Oh, that's a nice helmet.
Yes,
Black and white.
It's a fantastic helmet. I think it's default.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Unfortunately, ACC, despite the fact you can customize your driver's helmet, it doesn't carry over online to other people, so sadly we never see the interesting helmets that people might make themselves in the sim.
Well, that makes me slightly more annoyed that I spent about half an hour doing mine. I didn't realise that, because I never look at my own helmet, do I? So.
Meanwhile, Thomas Jack, 1.5 now behind Martin Kovacs. But it's not going to matter. That's unfortunate. I got happy for a second there, Daniel. I don't know if you've seen what I've seen. There's a rain in 30 minutes warning, but we only have 6 minutes to go.
Can we call race control and add another 45 minutes on?
Can we please add 45 minutes for rain?
As much as I like to be out there, I have enjoyed this commentating. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm very glad to have you. Oh. So we see Jeroen 0.4 seconds still behind Ivan Bratz. Meanwhile, down the order, a little bit of a gain, I think, of Frederick Schublem on deep cuts. Oh! I think Frederick forgot where he was for a second there, went to Tokyo. But he is back firmly in Barcelona. But has lost that time that we just said he had gained. 2 deep cuts ahead. So we're coming to 5 minutes 50 remaining, Daniel.
Yes, we are.
I guess I have to ask a little question. Who would you say is your driver of the day?
It's hard to look past the top 2, but I think Beeg, is coming from 18th to 9th, has been an excellent drive. I'm going to say Mr. Kovacs, because he stuck behind Toms for so long and he jumped on him when he got the opportunity. So yeah, Kovacs for me. What about you?
I mean, it's a challenging one. Most people are sort of just stuck to where they are. Kind of had their own little moments of excitement.
I think in terms of excitement, it's the top 2 are the only answers, but whoever has done the best, I think.
I know, I like to think of who's the most unique person I could give it to in this race.
Beeg,
that's a challenge. I think, yeah, Beeg, maybe. The thing with Beeg, I know he's good. And I also know he has been fighting people who, in a normal race, when he had taken part in the qualifying, he wouldn't lose to.
That's true, yeah.
But I think, for the sake of it, I'm going to give mine to Beeg, as you've already given yours to Kovacs, and certainly he does need to be recognised.
You know who's had a quiet race has been done really well? Jamik. He's still sitting at P5 by himself. He's just quietly plodding along. He's doing well. He's still in touch with the guys. Still in single figures. So yeah, I think he's had a really good race.
Yeah, no, Jamik has done very nicely.
He doesn't get the same amount of practice that the top 4 do. Top 4. These guys race all the time. Jamik doesn't have the time to do that. And of course he does a lot of iRacing. For him to do that, I think he has benefited a lot from the coaching RP does. As of I, it's the only reason I won the Silver Championship. So I think that coaching has really paid off in terms of his pace.
Jamik certainly will be very happy with the custom bop, as he has always loved to drive the Bentley.
For anyone watching, it's something we offer at Racing Pals every weekend before the race week, is coaching sessions. We have Tom, Pierre, Robin, all offer their coaching services. So someone who's availed themselves of those services, it's fantastic. It's transformed my racing, transformed my pace. It's, as I said, the only reason I won silver. The season before, I was absolutely nowhere. I was almost amateur. So it's a great recommendation for me. Absolutely.
It certainly is. And as I was saying, Jeremy, we're very happy to be driving the Bentley as it is finally competitive due to the custom bop.
It certainly looks like it, doesn't it? I'm a little disappointed in our top three, other than Robin, top four other than Robin, because I thought they would have picked more interesting choices. To be honest,
well, I don't know.
I wanted them to pick Lexuses or Lexi, or like other cars.
Speaking of Robin,
yes,
0.5 seconds behind Pierre Moreno. He has once again picked up his, literally picked up his steering wheel after he had to unplug it and replug it in. That usually happens.
I know you'll be driving angry now, so let's see if you get
what happens. Meanwhile, down the order,
I think he's certainly got a pace.
Down the order, Mark Dizon has been overtaken, by Benjamin Walrack for P13.
Oh, good job, Walrack.
I'm wondering what has happened to Mark Dizon, who is a platinum driver for the moment.
Yes, for anyone that's watching who doesn't quite understand that, there are some drivers who enter this pre-season race without doing a race stint and giving it to directors. And anyone who doesn't do that automatically goes into platinum. So there may be some platinum drivers here who will not be platinum next race. So that explains their offset and pace.
That is true, but Mark Dizon has been a pretty consistent appearer in Racing Power.
He has, yeah.
So
I think it's just
see.
Is there anything on Race App? Has he had any moments, or?
There's no contacts as of recently.
It could be just lost the pace. He's in the Porsche, so his tires could have gone off. The thing about Kovacs and Moreno, they're very good at taking care of their tires. So these drivers that aren't maybe quite as well versed in the car, they might have used up the tires a bit more. His front left might be dead.
That is certainly a possibility. Robin Moe now 0.3 seconds behind.
Oh, come on. I know commentators aren't supposed to have favourites, but come on, Robin. You feel bad for him. He had the pace. He had a wonderful undercut, and he should be in third. It's just he had his equipment issues.
Right, Thomas Jack has just started his final lap.
I think the problem with
Martin Kovacs even.
Yes, I think the problem with Robin is through that last chicane, it's a bit cumbersome in the sun, even with the 40 kilograms. So he's losing a car length to Pierre going into T1.
I'm going to keep an eye on this battle between Robin Moe and Pierre Moreno. But I do want to note Martin Kovacs is 2.1 seconds behind Mark Dizon on the final lap. So
I don't think he'll catch him.
I don't think he will, but if he does, that might be a concern. But Thomas Jack still 5.1 seconds now behind. Sorry, 2.3 seconds behind Martin Kovacs. I was looking at the relative to Robin Moe. He is 5.4 seconds in front of Robin Moe. Is Thomas Jack.
Come on, Robin. I think if he's going to get him anywhere, it's going to be into turn 10. Because I don't think he has the nimbleness in the car for that chicane.
We shall have to see. I'm going to stay on board with these two. But do note, Martin Kovacs currently 1 minute 20 into his lap, 20 seconds remaining. No, he's not. And I think that might be it for the chance, as it's now 0.8 seconds. So I'm going to run away and have a look. Martin Kovacs crosses the line to take P1 in class and P1 overall. A fantastic race from him. Deep Cuts, meanwhile, going slowly. Has he run out of fuel?
Oh, no.
I think Deep Cuts has run out of fuel on the last lap. That is a misjudgment.
Oh.
He will regret.
Luckily, it's pre-season. That's what this is for. It's to get all the mistakes out. So
that is
you'll know better next time.
True. Meanwhile, this man, Iceman, Ivan Bratz, is going to come home to take the silver trophy for this race.
Yep.
And Todd
And
Curtis, meanwhile, unopposed, takes P1
yeah,
in amateur.
perhaps something to be looked at for the real season because
Which
you,
was
as you said, unopposed.
and also someone who had a better qualifying and an early race drive-through.
Yes. But no, that was a fantastic race.
Did we
That was
find out?
really, really good.
Did we find out what you got that drive-through for?
We didn't, but if it
No, it
was at the
wasn't.
very
Sorry.
start, the only two things it would have been for would be he was either speeding at the start or he was ahead of his, the car in the line and it goes red. It will have been ahead of that. That's a drive-through you get for that. That's the only reason I can see him getting a drive-through for that.
Just going to
It's a wonderful
set up a nice little.
lease plan.
As whoever I'm watching in the pit lane goes into the garage, bumps the camera. Let's do that.
The stream is different. Oh, the stream is delayed. That's why.
It is.
Yeah, I just noticed.
Right. I'm going to call in.
That's for an hour and a half and I only just noticed.
I'm going to call in.
Yes. Calling our winner.
Well, once I find the right chat. I don't know who this is that the camera has defaulted me to. I think it's Mr. President, and he was just doing donuts at the right time.
Well,
Well, that was a good race, I think. What do you think, Daniel?
that was obviously the best race I've ever watched on ACC because it's the first race I've ever watched on ACC, but it was genuinely fantastic. I loved it. Can't wait to go talk to the guys about it.
Right.
Let's
Let us.
get in our let's get in our winner.
Yes, I'm going to bring in our race winner, our platinum winner, Mr. Martin Kovacs. Hello, Martin.
Hello.
Oh, well done. That was a fantastic race to watch. We
Thank
felt
you.
we were on the edge of our seat the entire time. I was surprised actually that your tires didn't go off. Tell us about the race.
They did. I had graining and blistering on the front left, so
Well, you drove through it. You were able to. Tom made that small mistake into turn 4 and you jumped on it. So
yeah.
well done.
Yeah, I mean, Tom was defending like a lion.
Yes, it was an excellent. Every single time you were going into T1, you guys took totally different lines into there, and it was so much fun to watch the whole time. It was great. Well done, both of you.
Yeah, it was fun to race as well.
You got anything for him, James?
Yes, sorry, I was just checking something. You obviously, like I say, got Tom at the very end there. What happened with your whole pit stop cycle? Obviously, you fell off a little bit in the first stint, and then came out of the pits, and then you got a bit lucky when not the back marker, but the race leader who had yet to pit held Tom up a bit. What was your thinking when all this was going on?
Yeah, because I overfueled for the first stint. I had like 5 more laps than I had wanted to, and then yeah, the race leader really did help me to catch up to Tom.
The net race leader, as it was, or the current race leader.
Yeah.
Well, you'll be lucky to know your overfueling actually was beneficial to you because Deep Cuts appeared to have underfueled and run out of fuel on the last lap of the race.
Oh no.
So that's not very good. But congratulations to you, Martin. You've won the preseason race, and hopefully next time you might even get some points to go with it.
Yeah, hopefully.
Right, thanks for speaking to us, and congratulations.
Thank you very much. Well done.
Thank
It
you,
was a great
guys.
race to watch.
Bye.
See ya. Right, now I'm going to bring in Mr. Iceman, Mr. Ivanbratz.
President.
Hello, Monsieur le Président.
Hello.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Silver winner.
Talk us through the race from your perspective. How was it?
Trying to survive with the guys in front. Well, not yeeted, but Jameek made a brilliant move into turn 5, so I lost to that. And then Mods was behind me for the full first stint. I was just surviving. Then he gained positions through the pits, and then in the end, I was trying to catch him, but just not enough time to catch him. And yeah, fighting with Uderdorp for the win was sweaty, to say at least.
You did a really you ran a really good race considering you haven't raced this series in a long time. How did your internet hold up?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, you ran a really good race considering you haven't raced with us at RP for some time. How did your internet hold up?
Your new fast internet.
Oh, it was good. I wasn't glitching anywhere, so it was okay. And
Perfect.
yeah, it was, I think, almost now a year before I from my last race in ACC.
So you had great pace considering how long it's been, and I don't know if your plan is to run the rest of the season, but I very much look forward to seeing how you do.
Yeah,
'cause I
the
think
plan
you'll
is to run the season, depending on private matters that I have, but I hope I can make it.
Good. Well,
Right,
we'll look forward to seeing more of
The
you.
one last question I have to ask all of you is, obviously you and Jeroen had a fantastic race today, but we have 2 drivers yet to appear in the silver class, and that is obviously Jürgen Oosthuizen and Michael Benker, also known as
Three
Musselheim.
drivers.
How do you think? I don't know who the third one is. Who's the third one?
Me.
I don't
you.
know, some random guy, I think.
How are you thinking about in terms of how you're going to fight with them? What do you think? Because they obviously very quick drivers as well.
Yeah, well, I know at Imola I should have the pace with the car, with the history I have with the GTR at Imola, but other tracks should be good. It will depend from the day how everyone feels, and yeah, the Lambo is pretty tricky to defend against at tracks that have really like downforce corners.
Well, congratulations on your P1 in class, and maybe we'll get to speak to you again at some point this season. Thank you for coming to join us, and
I
congratulations.
can hope. Thank you. Bye bye.
Cheers, Iceman. Right,
Yes,
that was
as I said in that interview, as much as I very much enjoyed commentating, and I did, I genuinely did, I want to defend my
you
silver
want
title.
to defend it now, do you?
I do,
Well,
I really do.
It's been very nice having you here. Maybe I'll get a guest co-commentator each week.
That would be really good. I think I'd really enjoy looking those back. That could be fun. Jack, I know Jack wants to do it, and I know there are a couple others that have said they want to do it, so that could be good.
Well, I've done a commentary with Jack before. It was very fun at Snetterton, so we'll have to see. But as I was saying, that was your P2, or not P2, silver P1 class winner. Todd Curtis has not come to the interview waiting room, so I'm assuming we're not going to do an interview with him, which is disappointing because I was kind of interested to ask what was going on with the drive-through. Like, I did think he was the only AM finisher, but I was kind of interested to see what happened with that. But
perhaps get Tom in, maybe, or someone else. We usually do 3.
Nah, I think we leave it.
Nah.
We leave Tom.
Okay.
Tom's had enough interviews, you know.
He's had enough.
The man's had enough interviews over the years. We'll leave Tom, and we shall leave everyone who is still watching to go about their days.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Yes, no, I'm going. We've got a few things to do before we go.
Oh, do we?
Yes, we have, I think, a few things to promote. So, this has been the pre-season race for RP Series Season 9. First race will be in 2 weeks' time. And a track whose name I do not remember.
I don't either, actually. Who is the first track?
I'm going to check race. I know exactly where everything else is going.
It is at, if I can go up.
It's at Laguna Seca, yes.
Oh, great.
I'm looking forward to that. Laguna Seca with Bop, which means it won't just be a Porsche Fest.
I'm already regretting my decision.
Well, we will see we will see how all these drivers get on at the Corkscrew in 2 weeks' time, which will be once again hosted here by myself and maybe another commentator as a guest on this YouTube channel where you have presently watched this video. Then,
Thank you.
actually, I have the
watching.
calendar. That's what I was going to do. That's the season 8 calendar. I don't know why I have the season 8 calendar up.
I have the season 9 one if you'd like me to go
One
through
second. I'm gonna pre-season race. You know,
it. Now, of course, yeah. Get the dust off.
get the dust off. There we are. See, now it's a season 9 calendar. You didn't see anything. Laguna
No.
Seca is our first proper official point scoring rounds of the season at Laguna Seca on the 22nd of October, followed by Silverstone on the 5th of November, Mount Panorama on the 19th, Imola on December 3rd, and final round at Zolder on the 17th of December.
Oh.
And all these races will be, or a lot of them, actually most of them, will be slightly different to one another with different formats, different race lengths, only by about 10, 20 minutes or so, different amounts of pit stops, and different amounts of fun.
Green light. Go, go, go.
Yeah, it should be good. It should be a really good season. It's a very cool calendar. So,
Yes.
and we've got lots of different formats and stuff planned. So yeah, you guys should tune in. And if anyone's thinking about racing, and maybe you don't think maybe up to pace, I highly recommend joining because these guys will help you get up to speed. So
yes,
come join.
and next then, let's have a quick look. We have the Racing Pals Halloween special. We do our Halloween special every year, which is generally a fully wet endurance race for 6 hours in the middle of the night. We have done it 2 times now at Spa. This year, however, we decided to change things up as we did a dry race at Spa already earlier in the year. It's 6 hours of Alton Park.
Yes,
And that's going to be the right amount of horrificness for a Halloween special. So please, if you haven't already, sign up for that, as it's going to be, I think, a lot of fun.
I'm only driving it so I don't have to steward it.
And then
before that, though, we do have in the Assetto Corsa realm next week. We have Skip Barber.
That's what I was about to do. I have a promo post for it and everything.
I apologize.
Yes. So, as Daniel just about said, Skip Barber next Sunday. This will not be streamed, but if you do want to take part, we are doing our Jack Memorial Trophy, which is named after someone I have never met. But Racing Pals itself, as we do know, started with Skip Barber's. Skip Barber League was the first things Racing Pals ever did, which eventually became Formula Pals, and now is basically Project Ameliorite, which is another series here that I host and commentate over. Skip Barber is returning then with a selection of fantastic tracks starting at Albert Park next weekend in the classic Skip Barber car. It'll be a 60-minute qualifying on Sunday, October 15th, starting at 12 BST, so noon. I hate 12 because it's always like, which 12? I assume it's noon 12, but then Deep's the one that organises it, so maybe it is 12:12.
That is fair.
Being in the very west coast of America. But it's Sunday, October 15th, noon British summertime at Albert Park. It'll be a 60-minute practice session, 15-minute quali, and a 45-minute race. And it promises to be a good bit of fun as we are in the off-season of our main AC League racing. But
yes, indeed.
I think until then, and until next time, I have been James Andrews, your commentator number 1.
Yes.
I
am
left
Daniel
in the
Scott,
gap.
commentator number 2. We didn't plan that one, so I was a bit off foot.
I was hoping you'd follow.
Your guest commentator, Daniel, I have very much enjoyed my time here. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining me. And thanks to everyone out there for having been watching and enjoying. And I will see you all in 2 weeks' time for round 1 proper at Laguna Seca for all the corkscrews and the fun that will be had at that fascinating and fantastic track. I will say to you all then, good night.
Good night.